Welcome to Fayetteville, and whoop, pig suey as the Arkansas Razorbacks are ready to take the field. Today, a couple of SEC teams get ready to square off in what ought to be an old-fashioned slobber knocker. As we'll see, the Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
All right, 29 years old. I make $30,000 per month. I have the big mansion, the infinity pool overlooking the river in the backyard. I have all my dream cars in my garage, my Mercedes G-Wagon, my Lamborghini Spider, all the way to
Mississippi State about to boot it away as we start the festivities.
Let's head over here so I can show you how dumb this is.
On the run from inside.
I play the new game named Plinko.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in the lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Razorbacks offense will get the first possession of the game. Sometimes you sense that what the kids call swagger is a false bravado. This dude is nothing but real at wide receiver.
Yeah, he's got that speed, and it just, you see DBs, they're probably watching him come on the field right now, and they understand it's going to be a long game. This guy can go get it, he can run, he can do a little bit of everything at the wide receiver spot.
Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Coming after him. Takes a hit as he fires. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. So already a challenge on this opening drive. It's 3rd and 9. They're trying to get to it. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
Man, you talk all week about setting the tone, quieting this crowd. Don't let him get involved. You know how you do that? Get a sack and force a punt on the first possession of the football game. That's a heck of a start for this defense.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And that ball is picked off. Not a lot on the return, but they can live with that as they've got it at the 49.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time he used the lob wedge and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense early.
First down for this offense. They'll try the run. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make a stop.
The pull and throw off the RPO. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. Now facing a 3rd and long from the 50-yard line. From the gun, wants to pass. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't protect your quarterback. In their last game, they got sacked 4 times, lost the game. So far in this one, they're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating and giving their QB time.
They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw at this drive.
Guys, this rough start is hardly what they had in mind to start SEC play, and it's not going to get any easier.
Well, no doubt about it. There were big expectations surrounding this program inside SEC play this year, and things haven't necessarily gone their way. They've had to fight a ton of adversity, but, David, they believe they have the leadership in the locker room to turn it around, but it's got to start today.
Yeah, one at a time. Like, we got to start today. We got to find something. We got to find what we're really good at, what we can hang our hat on, so we can start to build some momentum throughout the season. Obviously not the start we wanted, but we got to point to the next opportunity.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. He's looking to throw it. Feeling some heat. got him, and nobody's close. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. And a nice, solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. On second down, will they go back to the ground game? Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Across the 25. Touchdown, Razorbacks! And they strike first.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing, to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Hey, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And not great blocking up front. They're struggling to get the running game going. And tell you what, they got to find something. Last week it was a bad performance, and this offense has got to get some momentum early in this game.
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
And you don't want to see this trend continue. Last week he was sacked 4 times. The offensive line, this offense as a whole, needs to get in better situations, get rid of the football faster, and not keep getting their quarterback hit.
And it's incomplete on third down. So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. 3-and-out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Running it back, it's Saunders. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was brutal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive, because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
QBs that can run completely change your game plan. I mean, every single bit of it. You have to understand now as a pass rusher, I got to keep him in the pocket. I got to understand all the zone read concepts and the power read and the jet read, all the different things they can do to you. So, having a guy back there at the helm that can run the football, you better be alert of it from the first play to the end of the fourth quarter.
Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Release to the back. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Man, that's a big missed opportunity for the running back. I'm trying to find ways to feature this guy and get him the football in space and not just hand it to him all the time. And tell you what, I'm a lot less likely.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Arkansas. Lining up to add another. And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the score comes on a 35-yard pass for 6. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And the offense here dialed up a really good zone beater. Give credit to the offensive coordinator. He called the right play at the right time.
Move the chains with that completion now on first down. Use the play fake now to throw. Intercepted. He'll try to take it back. He's at the 10. He's out of bounds, showing off the hands on the pick, and then the nifty moves on a terrific return.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows.
Sam,
Great job by the QB making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
The explosive play set the table. Now they got to serve the feast. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. Touchdown, Razorbacks! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. That's exactly what you want to do. You have field position quite quickly, and they
if you guys want some fast, cheap, reliable points, check out my sponsor at MOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT to get 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, my team, Matt Money Shots. Living up the college cheese as always. In today's video, we have another gameplay. We're using a much worse team, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to show you guys one of the best coverage defenses to use in college football 25. But before I do, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber. Hit the like button in the comment section. If you need more help, more tips, or more money plays, you can download any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. In today's video, we're using Sam Houston once again, a full 10 points lower in overall offense and defense. And this team literally has like no abilities on the team at all. The defense I'm using once again today is going to be the 3-3 man. It's one of only a few defenses that I've used all year. If you can't find this in your custom playbooks, though, it's also called the 3-3 odd, so just remember that. The coverage that I'm going to use, though,
the give to the back. Able to scrounge
when they put that out, but now I'm using mostly cover 6, as they're both matching coverage defenses, but cover 6 doesn't have the same problems that cover 3 has. The setup for this defense is really easy since it's a matching style cover.
A little bit at a time just to keep that defense honest.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
Mississippi State.
More flexible things that you can do with the player that I'm using. So if you guys want to see more about this defense, more adjustments you can make, I'll have links in the description as well as on screen at the end of the video. On the next play, when I see an empty backfield look, he tries to take an end around, and I cut it off, but I don't make the tackle, so he ends up getting 5, but I should have got him for a loss. On the next play, when I see he's got a clear strong side, I do shift the line in that direction, try to help out with the run play. And if I guess pass, I might have had a sack there as the defensive end chases him out. On 3rd and 5, the defensive end gets off again, and this time he tries to throw in the flats, but we have a defender there. Should have got an interception. And of course he goes for it on 4th and 5 because this is the Heisman division, and he almost had somebody. He fucking did. The real reason I like to use Sam Houston is because they have one of the most unstoppable offenses in the entire game out of the trio Unbalanced, which is an offense that I broke down on my Patreon on my Join Now community tab, as well as some other gameplay. So if you guys want to check that stuff out, I have links in the description as well as on screen at the end of the video once again. This does have some explosive pass plays, but it's also a very consistent running formation. As I run the ball in the first 2 plays, before I see that his cornerback on the left side where my receivers are about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, but he's either on a cover 2 or on the cover 2 side of like a cover 6. So I switched to the vertical play, and I know that I can hit this B receiver once he gets off the line.
Yeah, and you think of just Felix Jones.
But I can't score from here as his defense clamps up inside the 5, and we have to settle for the field goal.
Tough guys that that make you
Hey, back on defense, he's doing a really good job of running the ball as he gets a second and short before he tries to hit a comeback route. And this quarter flat was all over it as we break on the ball and force an incompletion. As this route is something that usually beats a defense like this, especially with no outside abilities like these cornerbacks don't have. On third and long, one of the reasons you want to leave your user middle linebacker blitzing is a lot of times it will help the pass rush. As the game will get a slower pass rush if there's only 3 guys rushing, but you can see if it sheds the defensive tackle and the defensive end, forcing him to throw the ball before he gets out of the pocket, resulting in a penalty. And of course, he goes for it no matter what the distance as he tries to hit what looks like the exact same route and it gets broken up the exact same way. So I get another short field, but he's making me work for every yard that I get. We're trying to run the ball, but we're not having a lot of success. We slowly chip away against his run defense to get inside the red zone and eventually inside the 5. And we're running turbo at this point because we got to get any advantage that we can. And anytime that I see he's in a man coverage with this particular play, I run the QB slot option, as this usually gets the edge, and on this play it does. We punch in and take a 2-possession lead. One of the biggest weaknesses of his defense, though, is zig routes, as he hits zig routes on the next 3 plays to go right down the field, as this could beat this just like a man coverage, only worse. As it looks like this guy completely blitzes out and lets the receiver get wide open on another zig route. He hits the zig route again, but this time I mess up, as we try to get the hit stick tackle way too early. And to make things worse, my next drive starts off with a bang.
That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
And now that it's 2nd and 25, all the offensive abilities I don't have won't activate. And there's no way in hell I'm going for it on 4th and 16 with this team. But there's only 30 seconds left, though. This defense is playing lights out. As nobody gets open to get a coverage sack on the first play, we only lost 4 yards. And he picks that up on the very next play before we almost get an interception on the next play, as it looks like everybody's double-teamed out there before we finally get that interception to end the half. I get the ball to start the second half, but he's making me work for everything that I get, as I'm not having nearly the success running the ball that I expect. He's getting sheds everywhere before he gets me to a 3rd and 8 that turns into a 4th and 22. And I have to punt the ball away to preserve my lead. And I got to feel pretty good so far, as he's really only scored based off a poor tackle attempt by me.
And he's knocked down immediately.
And now he's going to score a second touchdown because I can't tackle.
And the Razorbacks are flying.
Hey, but it keeps getting better as we start the second drive in a row with a fumble. Only this time he gets it inside the 10.
From the red zone, looking for a man.
Oh, but it gets worse.
It's me. How I ended up in this situation.
The defense just simply not.
So now I'm down 11 late in the 4th quarter with a horrible team, and I'm trying to score fast as we air it out over the middle. And it's looking like game over. But he tries to showboat on me, and we get it back. I still got to score in a hurry, so I'm still chucking it up. But this horrible quarterback isn't helping anything, as he's either throwing the ball horribly or just not getting the pass off. But on 3rd and 10, he makes some sort of adjustment which accidentally flips the safeties, and I'm going to take advantage of it as I hike the ball. And we split the seam that it creates. And now if we get a 2-point conversion, that'll make it a 3-point field goal game. But he gets an interception and instead gets a huge return, as he has the potential to return this for 2 points. And I'm right on his tail, but I know that if I dive, it's going to take me out of the play, so I just sprint as long as I can as we finally get the tackle to keep this a touchdown to win ball game. Back on defense, he looks like he really wants to run the ball as he's trying to kill clock, but we get him to a 3rd and inches. On 3rd down, we basically just send the house in the form of a run commit as we get him to a 4th and 1 that he ultimately picks up on a drag. But the game's not over as I haven't used any of my timeouts yet. At this point, since I know he wants to run, we're going to send some extra linebackers and hard flat everybody from a different play to call the overload 3 sky press. And you can see how this linebacker shoots the gap 4, but he gets a stop to give him a 2nd and 12. From here, he's much more likely to pass, but we're still setting that blitz, as this hard flat does a great job of taking away this zig route. And now we got him to a 3rd and 8 with the game on the line, so we go back to the cover 6 because we know he most likely wants to pass. And he tries to hit a screen play, but we're all over that. And we force him to punt it away for the first time in this entire game. He's going for it on 4th down every other time, but I guess he doesn't want to give me a short field. Well, in this scenario, he probably should have went for it, as we're going the other way away with probably our best offensive player as we take the go-ahead touchdown with a minute left in the game. With a minute left, we have to go for 2. And I've been trying to run this option all game against his man defense. There's nobody out here. And now I know he has to pass as he takes the check down underneath, but that's not going to get him where he wants to go. So on the next play, he's trying to take the top off, but we're all over that as we click on and get what should have been a game-ending interception. But we're celebrating a little bit too early as he still has all 3 of his timeouts. And we haven't had the most success on offense. We've run the ball 3 straight times, taking no chances and playing no games when it comes to the block. But we don't get any first downs. We actually go backwards the entire drive and have to find a way and put it on our defense once again, which is fine by me as nothing's open on the first play once again, and we get a coverage sack from that same defensive end that's playing lights out. And since he has no timeout, he loses a lot of time on that play before he tries to hit a guy over the middle, and we knock the ball loose. On 3rd and 13, though, he splits my coverage with a corner route as he gets about 20 yards away from a makeable field goal. And now with about 6 seconds left, we have to protect those sidelines. So that's the game. I can't tell if my phone stopped talking or the mic just cuts off once the game's over. But give this defense a try and let me know what you guys think. I already put out another video where I showed you guys more adjustments you can make from this particular defense. So if you guys want to see that, have that pop up on the screen. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.
But he's not the biggest guy in the world, so he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
And despite going 0 for 2 on 4th down so far, they will stay aggressive and go for it here. He just has a nose for those little crevices to be able to find space, and he picks up the first down. On the option. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. Oh, the offensive first. Absolute disaster by falling on that fumble.
Let's talk about the coverage that everybody wants to run, but you should avoid unless you know what you're doing. And I'm talking about cover 0. Now, the cover 0 is going to look like this right here, where we have typically 6 defenders, sometimes 7, all blitzing the quarterback with man coverage across the board. That means we have no safety help over top. This can be found inside of plays that look like this right here with edge blitz 0. Or it can be found inside of something like Overstorm Brave, where you see we just have those blitzing defenders with no blue zones on the field in the play arc. They can be found in every single playbook, in every single formation. Here's an example inside of 4-4 split, where we have LB fire. That would be cover 0 as well. Okay, so how do people run cover 0, and what's the risk in it, and why do they do it? What we're going to do on defense here is press wire triangle and then down on the left stick. A lot of people do this. We're calling cover 0. We're going to stack the box. Everyone's pressing the line of scrimmage. What happens here, let's watch Isaiah Bond, and we can also watch Golden right here, okay? Our inside most wide receiver and our outside most wide receiver. We're going to get what's called press man on both of these guys. So imagine this. Right, both of them get pressed. Watch Isaiah Bond. It takes a second for him to develop. And what it can do, it can disrupt the timing if the defensive back wins the press. Now, they don't always win it, but they do sometimes. And if that happens, what can happen? Let's see if we actually get an example right here, where that, like the B, for example, is a great example. He just gets pressed into the dirt, and the route gets almost ran for him the entire time. This can cause a lot of timing issues and result in a lot of interceptions because you have pressure coming fast, and you try throwing it, it ends up being picked off just like that right there. This is a high reward style defense because you force turnovers. But one of the big risks with this defense is what I did on that first clip, and we'll see if we do it again right here, where we're just going to go up top to bold it. Because whenever there's press man coverage and you put a streak on the field, let's see what happens. You're going to get this press animation, and then you just have to lob this ball up. And if it's an accurate throw, which when yours decides to miss, you're almost always able to get a step right there and be able to hit him over top really easily. Let's see this again. Go to get that same press. Notice how I'm able to get just a step over top. We're able to lob it up, and we're just barely missing this throw, or we're able to potentially get a big gain. So this style of defense can result in really easy touchdowns very quickly. But also, what can happen here? Well, we're in this press man. Let's go Golden on an in route. What happens if he just wins, right? Now you're letting out massive crap. you're letting that happen. That results in super easy drives for your opponent. And one of the big things that this style of defense is predicated around is a very, very good blitz. Right now, you know what's happening? We don't have a good blitz behind this at all. And what that means is that I have a ton of time in the pocket to make all the reads I need to make and for my routes where we're getting pressed to develop. Look right here. We're actually able to pick this blitz up really well, really hit this guy. We only beat our man coverage by a step, and because we beat him by a step and there's no real help, we really get a ton of yards after the catch. So you might be saying, okay, well, the way I'll run this is I'll actually not press, right? And that can help because if we don't press right here, we go to golden on a streak. Let's see what happens. This isn't nearly as bad, right? It's a much like you're going to stay with them. Yeah, I mean, it should have been picked off pretty easily. The issue with not pressing, though, is that routes like drags and slants and zigs, especially zig, can just fry because you're running off-man coverage. Notice right here, we get that zig, we turn the corner, and we're getting a massive, massive, massive gain. So while cover zero can be very cool because you can get some very fast blitzes, create some turnovers like we've shown, it can be bad because it will allow very easy touchdowns to happen if that blitz doesn't come in, right? There's a great example of that blitz coming in. So what can we actually do to make cover zero a little bit more reliable, right? Here's a great example. Cover zero, very bad in that game. Well, first key to running cover zero is that we need a heavy blitz with it, okay? We need some kind of heavy blitz that is good. That is the key word. That is good. So let's look at something like this, right? Is this probably going to be a good blitz? It could be. My issue is that, let's say Smith out here is the guy who comes free. Well, Smith, look how long he takes to get out here, right? He's starting out here and it takes forever. Whereas if we were to call something like this instead, and actually let me go back to the play call screen, we'll find a different play. Whereas if we call something like Overstorm Brave instead, let's do this.
Cashback with Chase Freedom Unlimited. Is 0% intro APR with no annual fee. How do you do cashback?
Notice where these guys are coming from. Who's going to get there faster? Smith on this blitz angle way out here, or a linebacker right here coming straight downhill? Probably the linebacker, right? He has a more direct path, and the quarterback can't step up against a linebacker blitzing right up the middle, whereas he can step up to avoid a slot corner. So that's going to be the first thing, is that we got to make sure our blitz that we're running is actually good. And that could be a million different things, right? There's a million different styles.